Greetings, I'm Raining Moon, and welcome back to Oak Moon Grove. Today I want to talk to you about a way that you can help with bringing balance and restoring the ecosystem in your area, and that is through planting native plant species. The earth works like a orchestra, like a symphony, and all the plants and insects and birds and other animals have in time learned to work together. And if you remove one player in this orchestra, it affects the whole piece. Everything is interwoven with each other because it has taken a long time through evolution for these plants and insects and animals to live together, and they learn to depend on each other. So taking one out will affect the whole. And there are a lot of cases where you see native plant species are kind of being wiped out with non-native invasive species of plants. And typically what you see in a lot of the garden nurseries are non-native species. Things like where I'm at on the East Coast, having tulips and wisteria and pansies and a lot of these other flowers that aren't actually native to this area. It can push out all the other plants that were here. I heard this story about how a wolf can affect the course of a river, and you may think that the two have nothing to do with each other. But in the story, wolves in this one area, they were native to this one area for a very long time, and they had kind of been hunted out, and it caused the area, the environment to degrade. So wolves were reintroduced to this one area, and when they reintroduced the wolves back, the wolves started to hunt the deer, and they started to keep the deer in check with their population numbers. The deer had been over-browsing all the plants, so when the wolves started hunting the deer, there were less deer, and then all the plants began to flourish again. And when the plants began to flourish, then that brought other animals back to the area, including beavers, and then the beavers affected the course of the rivers. So wolves affected the course of the rivers in a way because they're all interwoven and connected to each other in this great cycle, and we are very much a part of this cycle. So a wonderful thing about planting native plant species is that because these plants are already adapted to wherever you're at, they are extremely low maintenance. They don't require lots of watering or any babying, as long as you make sure that whatever you're planting, the native species is, either shade tolerant, or if they like open sun, that you put them in open sun. But they're already going to be adapted to whatever your soil is. So if you have very sandy, acidic soil like we have here on the South Jersey coast, then they are going to flourish. So native plants are very low maintenance, very easy, they flourish, they're very beautiful. They tend to be quite often less showy but more delicate. They have a very delicate natural beauty to them. And another bonus of planting native plant species is that you can attract certain wildlife. If you want to, let's say, bring more butterflies, then you can plant species of plants that attract butterflies that are native. We have butterflies that are going through these huge migrations, and then a lot of times they get here and the food that they would normally eat is gone and they have nothing to eat. So they really need our help for bringing back balance to this ecosystem. If you wanted to attract hummingbirds, there's certain plant species that are native to your area. If you normally do have hummingbirds for wildlife in your area, where you can plant that and it'll attract hummingbirds instead of putting artificial feeders out that have less nutrients for the birds. That planting the plants can help them be a lot healthier. It can help them more. So when you have a healthy ecosystem, it's self-regulating and it is very cleansing to the land, which is why it's really important to bring back that balance again. And this is just some way. If you have a little garden, or if you have a yard, or even if you have an outdoor balcony somewhere that you can put plants, everybody is really planting at this time of year. So please consider planting native plant species. And what's native to my area is not going to be probably the same as what is native to your area for plant species. Here we've planted blueberry bushes and yucca and a lot of plants that will give food for pollinators and other wildlife. But for you in your area, you can look online and find wherever you live what plants are native to where you live. And you can purchase these online. Like I said, unfortunately, a lot of the plant nurseries typically carry non-native plant species. So you may have to dig around, but it's quite possible to find them. And like I said, once you put them in, it's very low maintenance. You'll be helping to feed the wildlife and attracting certain kind of wildlife, and it's a great way to help heal and bring balance to the system and to connect with nature, because you are very much a part of this beautiful cycle. I hope you like this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I wish you love, serenity, and grace. Namaste.